Hello everyone, we are back. I hope you joined us in a completely different setting. Almost looks like a completely different circuit, really. Look at this heavy rain. Apologies about the end to the stream, but I hope everyone can get in quickly to enjoy the start of this race. Drivers have agreed not to ready up in the meantime, so that does give us just a moment to get back going again. Of course, the formation lap is still well and truly here, so that'll be a crucial factor in learning the grip of the track. I think everyone's in the right grid slot. I've tried to do that as quick as possible, but we're in the race now. Heavy rain. It's going to be a full wet start. It's going to be an impossible one to predict now. I am once again joined by Rossi. He's still here. I'm going to hand it over to you for your predictions for this race, if there are any.
No, I'm going to say, I think Bourbon will win.
Comfortably?
I think the first laps he will be under some pressure, but I think once he finds a rhythm, I don't think anyone can stop him. Someone to move up through the pack, I'm going to say TRT Seed. I think he's P17. I think he'll have a good race and get into the points. And I'm also going to say, I'm going to say Immortal. I think Immortal might get into the top 5. That's my, 3 predictions. Bourbon to win, Immortal top 5, and Seed to get into the points.
I like it. I think we might see a spin from either of the two championship contenders. To be fair, it's not like they're still the only ones in the fight. There are still potential outsiders, but it will take a miracle, of course.
How many people?
The main two. Oh, I don't know. Those that are within 78 points.
Yeah.
From this, so actually quite a few drivers. But we're talking odds of thousands.
Yeah.
But yeah, extremely unlikely. But our main two, again, just for context, Valera Fox, who starts 3rd, 22 points behind FH, who starts 7th. Bad F1 opinion was just 8 points behind FH, but he's departed from the league for the remainder of the season. He was putting up a great fight. As we know, 3 wins and a 3rd place takes away with him. I'm sure a load of good memories from this season. Bourbon Boy is our pole sitter today, of course. WOR Tier 1 winner. I was as confused as anyone when I saw that on Twitter. Can't say I was watching, but fair play to him. Seems to have had a very rapid rise recently. Hopefully that can resume today. Hopefully we can see the best of him. Hopefully we can see the best of Franek and so on. As the grid forms for a heavy rain US Grand Prix. It's not often we say this, considering it's slap bang in the middle of Texas. But the heavens have opened. We're ready to go then. 5 red lights coming on ahead of the drivers here at COTA, where it is lights out and away we go. Bourbon Boy gets a tentative start, as does the rest of the pack, but what a start from Valera Fox, who goes through the middle of Franek and tries to get up the inside of Bourbon Boy around the outside AMS drive. Oh, Franek's had a poor start. There's a Mercedes getting sideways there, I believe, at the FRT ACOS. He loses a few positions. I think he had a great start, in all fairness. AZ Bottas at the back of the field seems to have had a spin as the drivers try to sort themselves out. Preferably when we go through here single file, because
Venom and
really
Allison.
A lot to see. Look at this as they go up through turn 8 and turn 9 and then down the hill on towards turn 10. Here's FH. He's forced slightly wide by his fellow FRT driver, and up the inside comes Immortal. This could be a very crucial overtake as sticks his nose in. He's got the better exit, that's for sure. And Immortal and FH. Oh, there's a crash in the background. It involves NRX Adams, who seems to have spun or has been collected or something on the exit of turn 11.
Yeah, very dramatic start, as we thought it would be. FH and Immortal still going at it now. But I think, never mind, Immortal's got a switch back on FH. And now Immortal should have that place sorted.
And Allison as well, going up the inside. That was aggressive. I'd say it was fair. But Immortal, what a scrumptious switchback from him. Adams at the back, still having a bit of trouble. Or AZ Bottas, the two quite far behind the rest of the pack. But a great first lap from our race leader, Bourbon Boy. Oh, look at this. FH up the inside into the final corner. So often you see a move at the 20th and final corner, but FH has seemed to have done just that, but for how much longer? This has been an iconic first lap scrap between FH and Immortal. As Immortal goes up the inside once again. He held back for a moment, but he's got through. And now Joran Sver is trying to get through as well, as FH was forced off the track ever so slightly. And still, through turn 3, 4, now 5, and so on. You get the idea. This battle still rages on.
Yeah, I mean, we're just seeing, well, usually it would be very difficult to make a move in the wet. But they're certainly showing a lot of bravery on that first lap to, you know, send it down the inside wherever possible, pretty much. But I think it's kind of going to settle down a little bit as I say that. Mac and Brood just just swapping positions there. But yeah, pretty clean start. The top 18 all still in one train. Unfortunately, Adams and AZ Bottas having incident.
Bit of contact between ERL, Franek and Drive as Franek looked for the opening, and he's got it here with the switch back off of turn number 13 and 14. Now to turn 15, he's not able to get it done just yet, but look at this, Allison! Well, big send, and a big send was made, it appeared, from FH, as this battle just does not seem to want to calm down for a moment. As the 4 here with Joran on the back of this train. They've lost an awful lot of ground to the likes of Venom and the rest of the top 5.
Bridget Mechanics is round.
That's unfortunate. That's at the penultimate corner. Very easy to do. But Balera Fox has had a mega second lap. It was Bourbon Boy with the rapid first. But now, on lap 3, where there would usually be DRS in a dry race, obviously not the case. We might have a fight for the lead, and as you said, Bourbon Boy starting to come under a little bit of pressure early on.
Yeah, very strong start from Balera Fox, doing everything he has to do to stay in this championship fight, as Jarv has gone round in the first sector. But yeah, Balera Fox having a great start to this race. Started third, I believe, got up into P2, and now he's got P1 right in front of him, so we'll have to see what he can do from here.
It was a really great start, and he almost took the lead. In fact, the top 5 now are well in a slipstream train, to be honest. Can't really say DRS train because, there's no DRS. But they're all bunching up at the front. Maybe Bourbon Boy just struggling a bit. Might have got loose on the last lap, and that has just disrupted some of his momentum. Joran has got past FH, so there is a car between him and Immortal. Akos and Allison seems to be having a great fight, and that continues. Through turn 14 we go, and the Mercedes tries to just pinch the Aston Martin to the outside. But it's a nice turn 15 from Akos as he holds on to the position. Bit of a snap of oversteer from Allison as he gets on the throttle once again. Massive driver's challenge.
I just thought I'd say a contact between Heaven and V2X Combat, and now that's backed him up into AMS Nitro, but he takes that place straight back. We're seeing a lot more battling than I thought we would, considering the conditions, and I'm all for it.
Yep. Why not? Let's have it. And it's been fairly clean, to be honest, the battling that we've had seen. Obviously, drivers can very easily get pushed off the track because there's just the same grip levels. It's just easy to misjudge. But it has been clean for the most part. Full grid of 20 in the wet conditions. Credit to everyone so far. Still a long way to go. My question being, will we see a change onto the intermediate tyres? Often a long period on the wets can just sort of push the water aside and leave a dry enough racing line to move on to the inters. So that will be a massive factor in this race if it does happen.
Yeah, just thought I'd say FRT Venom has had a great start to this race. He's gained 7 places. And yeah, so started 12th, made his way up into P5, and is on the back of the leading group. So very good start from him.
MS Nitro up the inside of Heaven Nitro, who started 19th. He's made up 6 positions, now 5 again, now 6 again, as you get the picture. They're going side by side, and I believe they do make a little bit of contact. The Mercedes goes up the inside of the AlphaTauri. We've seen that now on a couple of occasions with ACOS as well, but Joran still fighting hard with FH, and this is not an ideal scenario for our championship leader. As it stands, the gap is cut. If I can do maths, FH gets 4 points, Fox gets 18, so that's a 14-point swing. 22 minus 14 is 8, I think. So that would now be the gap. Oh, and Macca spun Allison. That's our first real collision since the start of this race. And the two come together at turn 1. They're both back on their feet and running again.
Oh, Joran's gone off.
Joran! Oh! And that is the first major impact
Safety
of the
car.
race, and that is going to, of course, deploy the full course safety car.
I'm not sure if there was a collision there, or if he just went off. He did have a 5-second penalty given to him just before it.
Yeah. Maybe he was sent out of control or something. I don't imagine really how that would happen, but
well, he got 10 seconds of penalties in total before he DNF'd. So I think he must have had a spin which sent him across the track or something. Nitro and Evan have had a collision. I'm not too sure what's happened there.
a few penalties have been given out so far. ACOS has 6 seconds, Heaven with 6 as well, and Nitro with 5, and then NRX Adams with 6 seconds as well. I doubt we'll see any pit stops. Usually it would be a good time in a dry race to roll the dice with strategy. I don't think it's going to be the case at all. Actually, Bourbon Boy. Okay. Prove me wrong once again, but Fox stays out. Yeah.
As Joran has said, can't drive with a dry setup. So I'm guessing it was just driver error, really.
He literally had the opportunity to get a wet one. I'm just going to say that, but he did have an opportunity, and I'm sure most drivers have actually put wet setups on now, so wondering why we haven't questioned that element. There has been a restart if you're just joining us, and if you have missed all the action, you can watch the highlights if you're a Sky Cube or a Sky Glass customer by pressing the red button.
You have to repeat that every half a lap.
Sky, sign me up, please.
If you're an ABS-Q or an ABS Glass.
Oh dear. Don't forget to download the ABS app.
You can watch the race from every angle.
To the Play Store and iPhone Store, App Store, that's the one.
iPhone Store.
iPhone Store! I get so unserious during a safety car, but then again, what can you do?
Well, I mean, you could go through everyone's tyres, but there's not really a lot
That's
of variation.
true, but wet, 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 wet.
I am surprised at how many people pitted, though. I thought that everyone
Yeah,
would stay out, really.
I'm shocked.
Because you don't have to make a pit stop in the wet, do you?
No, it's not mandatory, but maybe the... Excuse me, hiccups now. Maybe there's just concerns about one set of wets going to the end, but... If there is a safety car, a second one, which is highly likely, top three could just pit, because there's not going to be a massive difference in pace at the moment. And they could just jump right back onto... You know, there's so many factors, there's so many possibilities that could still happen. And we'll see whether the top three have made the right decision. How? They're going about 7 miles an hour.
It's like he's trying to get temperature into his tyres, but
yeah.
clearly there's too much.
6th gear wheels spinning.
Go on, Jarv, put your foot down. Oh.
That's not the try! No. Oh, there go. Did his front wing even come off? Just come into the pits and he might give up.
Well, I don't think he'll give up. Might need a new set of wets though.
Yeah. Or softs, if he wanted.
If I see anything other than full wets, he's not taking this seriously. Oh yeah, he must have got damage.
Yeah. Those are wets.
Good.
I think you only get 3 sets. So gotta be careful. Obviously, those ones that you just took off can definitely be reused again, because here at Pirelli X ABS, we are committed to saving the planet.
Reuse, recycle,
Reduce, recycle and reuse, something like that.
Please don't tell me you had a song about that.
I don't. No.
You almost went to start singing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Anyway.
Moving on swiftly. Will we be going in this lap? I mean, Jarv is slowly catching up to the pack. Mr. Slowly, as the Italians like to call James May. Could be a late call if we do go in this lap. So we're moving on to turn 16, 17 and 18. There'll just be 2 corners to go to prepare. As it stands, there's a 21-point swing, which would put Bolero Fox 1 point behind FH in this championship race. I doubt it will stay that way because of this strategical situation that we have found ourselves in. Immortal and Akos briefly switching positions. That one's sorted out, is it? Now it is. Immortal moves to the right hand side. He's got Bourbon Boy behind him, who he helped ever so well with slipstreams. A slipstream, I should say, to get him onto pole position. Sam Cole in the Twitch chat. Yep. Those are our names.
Big strong Leicester boys.
Perhaps one more brain cell, but big strong Leicester boys. We're on a bender, not sex offenders. We love Sam Fender. Something like that. I'll send that to Pussy Man and he might follow me back one day.
The legend himself.
Hey, the legend himself. Love the King Power Stadium. Love clappers. Protect men's mental health.
Don't wear a mask.
Yeah. Don't wear masks. Here at ABS, we are fully committed to saving people's lives from the Omicron variant. So please put your face coverings on.
The omnivore variant.
Omnivore!
The vaccine is
Please can we go
bad for
this
you.
lap? I want to commentate some racing.
Not COVID.
Exactly, it's too negative.
Well, could be
Unless-
positive.
Could be positive. I feel like I'm positive, but lateral flow
Safety
tests
guys
say
in this
otherwise.
lap.
But we're in this lap. Way! Let's get this party started. We're almost an hour into the evening of racing. We're on lap 8 of 28 in a full wet race. We are going to be here until about 9:30. So if you're not doing anything tonight, you know, you might as well stick with us. Lara Fox trundles through the puddles, gets heat into his tyres. Leaves Burn Mylander to do his thing. And Sam's messages have been deleted. What's new? Always being a pain in the chat. But where
Even
will
getting
Valera
banned
Fox
in
go?
Twitch.
Akos tried to get alongside momentarily, but Valera Fox is foot to the floor, and we are racing once again at the Circuit of the Americas. How good will his restart be? It's pretty good. He's got a 7/10 margin over Akos. Then come the two McLarens. Will they swap positions into turn 1? Bomber Boy sends it. That didn't look like a coordinated swap, but Immortal certainly wasn't quick to defend it. It's a very nice move nonetheless. Franek versus AMS Drive. They almost came together a bit earlier on. Drive all over the road. Franek looking for an opportunity to overtake. It's going to be difficult when he gets a bit loose as Venom lets him know he's there. Up through the final few corners of the first sector we go. Actually, the start of sector 2. It's fairly clean once again.
Oh, has Venom sent a move on Franek?
Oh, yes. He has. And this is going to be a drag race to turn 12 as Venom tries to just push himself into the slipstream. He got a little bit of it, but Venom will surely break late and go down the inside of ERL Franek, who's still there. He breaks late as well, ERL Franek, but a bit of contact, and Franek sends it again into turn 13. Who will come out on top in this one? It's certainly going to be a costly battle as they're going to lose a bit of time to the top 5. But Venom finally has it done. In fact, they've not really lost anything at all because Drive and Immortal certainly look to be attempting some sort of battle.
Valera Fox's lead at the front has extended to 1.5 seconds now.
That's a great first lap after the restart. He starts lap 10 with a new fastest lap of the race. Right off of a restart, cold tyres, no bother. Good stuff. 2 seconds now his lead. That could be a very, very crucial lap.
So that
Gold
lap,
to win, we'll look back at that.
that lap just done by Valera Fox there was 3 tenths quicker than Bourbon Boy's best lap we had before the safety car. So, I mean, his tyres wouldn't have worn much under the safety car, but, you know, right back where he left off with lap times. And yeah, he's clearly having a good time, extended the lead as Addison's dropping down the order. I'm not
He was
sure
having a
what's happened with him.
battle in the mid-pack, so that might be contact or something going on there, but Bourbon Boy's been looking for an opening throughout this entire lap. It's been very easy to save battery, of course, in the wet, so he can dump his electrical deployment back down the back straight. And here he comes on FRT Akos, getting a very weak slipstream effect, but he sends it like he did on Immortal, this time into turn 12, but he runs wide, and Akos takes it back for the time being. Bourbon Boy back up the inside. He's just going to force Akos out wide. He just needs to stop him now, attempting a move into turn 15. Oh, and I believe there just might have been a little tap there. Certainly got close, but further back, another McLaren. JB13 Immortal under pressure from AMS Drive, who sticks his nose in. He's side by side throughout the triple right-hander. which is flat out in the dry. Around the outside he goes at 19. Immortal's still there for turn 20, where we've actually seen a fair few moves attempted throughout this race. Heaven has retired. That is a crash on the racetrack.
Safety
and it's
car.
a second safety car once again. Immortal finally slowing down. They're trying to negotiate who was ahead.
No one wants to back, no one wants to back down to that, and I think Immortal's got it. Oh, never mind, he's had to let him through. And now Venom's took the place. Oh, I don't even know. Yeah, but now Drive's got to let him through. So Immortal is in P4.
Oh no.
I mean, track position means so much in the wet. I mean, as we've seen, battling, it's a drag race pretty much down the straights, because you can afford to use your ERS the whole straight, and you're back on 100 by the end of like 2 corners time. So it's just, everyone's probably running similar wings. It really is just a drag race. You don't really gain too much.
Yeah.
All you have is the slipstream, really. And if you're in a train, then the car in front of you has the slipstream as well. So yeah, very difficult to gain enough to make a move.
I wonder if Bellerofox will come in and take his pit stop, which he may or may not feel is necessary. Same with Akos and same with Immortal, who, by the way, still can't get it right under this safety car. Think about how many league races both of them have perhaps done combined. I know this whole field of experience. For obvious reasons, they wouldn't be here. They're rapid, they're experienced. Anyway then, let's see what happens. See if there's any action in the pit lane. Ted Kravitz down to... Oh, right, no.
Nathan Cook.
Nathan Cook, down to you.
Oh, I've just seen Driver's got back past Immortal.
For God's sake. We're almost back behind the safety car. Just waiting patiently on the exit of turn 10. And it'll pick up the field. AZ Bottas came into the pit lane, as did Brood, onto wet tyres. Used ones for Brood. Won't be a massive difference, but it's not ideal. There are 3 opposites in this race, if you like. Stay out there. This does give them more opportunity to save life in those tyres, but the difference of 6 laps in wear could prove decisive.
This race is actually going to take forever.
Yeah.
It's 25 to 8, and we're not halfway through.
We'll get there.
Eventually. And, you know, for anyone watching, it's not drying up. It is heavy rain the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, still the question being intermediate tyres, so if anyone does pit under normal racing conditions, we could see blue wall tyres being swapped for perhaps green. But I'm not sure. With the intensity of this rain still, I doubt it. What I don't understand is how there are puddles just sitting at the top of the hill. Like, surely they'd just flow to the bottom. So, is that not how water works?
It's the F1 game.
Yeah, I know, I'm not going to question. Although I just did.
No, you weren't questioning it, you know, you were just pointing it out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. An issue was diagnosed for Jarv. I say that, he diagnosed it himself. He had the wheel glitch, the infamous wheel glitch. And that seemed to be the cause of some of his problems. And he couldn't press the throttle. That was earlier on, but he's had another safety car.
Hopefully we're back racing at the end of this lap.
Hopefully. Sooner this is done.
Yeah, there's not really
Yeah,
much you
better,
can
'cause it's a
talk
long
about
one.
with a full wet race, like...
Yeah, it's just a bit monotonous, to be honest. So it's not like we're expecting things to change either. The real context to this is the championship, and the positions have not changed for either Balearifox or FH. So as it stands, these positions would stick Balearifox just 1 point behind FH. Still.
Yeah, we just got
Actually,
confirmation.
they'd be level.
We just got
Fastest lap.
confirmation that safety car will be in this lap.
Yeah.
So
it's a second restart for Balearifox to do. There's the fastest lap confirmation, so it would actually be level at the moment.
wow.
And FH would lead... Actually, no. No, FH would lead on countback because he's got more second places. That is just margins we're talking at the moment. 22 point gap coming in. What will it be coming out? There's 2 races to go after this. Imola and Brazil. Massive
Balearifox is
pressure
gone.
for Balearifox, who goes earlier this time. He's foot to the floor. Several penalties at the back of the field coming in. And we are back racing once again at Kota. Back to green flag conditions as we approach the halfway stage of this race. Great restart for Venom. He's back fighting with JB13 Immortal. Down the inside he goes on the McLaren into turn 1. Still side by side on the exit. Immortal gets a great exit and that will keep him in front. Going through turn 2, 3 and 4. Jarv is coming to the pit lane to retire. Maybe just a reoccurrence of that wheel glitch he was talking about. He's out of the race and becomes DNF number 3.
Yeah, just coming out of turn 2, it looked like Venom almost lost the car. So he'll be noticing, where he'll be reminded of the lack of grip that there is. As he's just sent a move on Immortal into turn 11, and FH has also sent it on Franek.
Very similar moves here, almost a carbon copy of each other, but I'm going to go back to the front of the pack because Bourbon Boy was getting very close. He seems to have just dropped off a bit down the back straight, but there's going to be no rush for him, that's for certain. Let's go back to these other battles, and Franek sends it up the inside of FH once again, tried to regain the position, and he tries it for a second time, and makes contact with the Irishman as through they go, and again loose on the curb. ERL Franek doing everything he can,
PSR
and contact
Mac.
a big thump from PSR Mac on V2 Combat as they come out of the corner almost side by side. There's going to be a switchback attempt for PSR Mac. Oh, that is absolutely stunning. That is a great overtake. However, V2 Combat's back up the inside, and they both go several metres off the track. It's like Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton at Brazil.
Yeah,
Max Verstappen just didn't turn until he felt like it, but we don't talk about that. PSR Mac, oh, and that is naughty defending.
Yeah.
That is naughty defending from V2 Combat. He's just got a bit out of control here. V2 Combat perhaps just lost his head a bit with the ferocity of this battle. Oh, this is not what we want to see.
Lots of contact, you can just hear it.
Yeah. It is just rubbing of the front wing on the rear diffuser.
I mean, Seed is probably going to look for a move here. They might go 3
Oh,
wide.
they are
into
not going to go 3 wide into turn 11. They are going 3 wide into turn 11. Seed up the inside of V2 Combat, and he actually has both of them for the time being. And on the exit of the corner, it's still very much 3 wide, 2 by 2 almost. Down the back straight we go. PSR Mac versus TRTCs, and here comes V2 Combat as well.
Whoa.
He pulls to the left-hand side. Then he thinks better of it, but then comes AMS Nitro. And side by side on the exit, Seed versus Mac. Seed up the inside. Can he finally get the move done? And to be fair, he deserves this. TRT Seed gets himself up into P9. For the time being, a V2 Combat aggressively sent it once again. And he spun around for good measure.
We've got another safety car.
I didn't even realise AZ Bottas had retired.
He just retired on the track, I think.
But FRT ACOS making the decision to pit.
I've got a feeling that Valera Fox is going to the end.
Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't. There's been 3 safety cars. His wear is probably fine. I say fine vaguely. But ACOS will rejoin the action down in P13, but he has made his pit stop for intermediate wets. Another set of wets. Double stack down at Ferrari. V2 Combat having to wait a long time. Disaster here for Ferrari. I mean, these are definitely not glitches. AMS Drive is convinced that something's not right. But, you know, genuinely, this is our 3rd safety car. People do keep crashing. Once again, the action quietens down, and probably, I don't know, towards the back of the pack, probably for the better, because it was getting really out of control back there.
Well, Mac and V2 Combat have been separated now, so it is like the naughty kids at school. You have to like put them on opposite sides of the room. That's like what's happened now.
No golden time for you.
Yeah, Mac is in P9 and V2 must have just pitted. So he's gone to the back of the grid.
Let's have a look at some position changes. Big winners include Seed and Nitro, who have both gained 9 positions. They've had a lot to gain, to be honest. FRT Venom, 7 places gained and still very much within the fight for a podium. So, full credit to him. He's done really well this race. Venom, who sits, I don't exactly know where in the championship, because every single number is jumbled up and it doesn't really make much sense. But Venom has got 2 podiums, 2 second places this season. Could it be a third? Could it be a third podium at least for him? We'll have to find out. And there's the pit stops. You can see Valera Fox and Immortal still yet to come into the box.
Yeah, so looking at penalties, there's only Franek in the top 10 who has 6 seconds. Akos has 9. Adams and Brood have both got 6 as well. Allison with 3 and Evan with 5. So Evan can probably get his removed. So yeah, not too many penalties, but a few.
Yeah. And we're mostly all towards the back of the pack, so not much would change as it stands at the front. Franek, who has been quick, you know, could suffer a heavy hit from that, to be honest.
Well, 6 seconds, if it stayed with everyone kind of staying in one train, 6 seconds will definitely put him close to the back of that, if not the back.
Yeah. In other news, I've just found out that the Paddock Club was falling apart earlier today in Jeddah. Who let this race go ahead? Honestly. It's just a Formula E track on steroids, but the safety car is in this lap. We're going to get back racing for a third time in this race. The third restart that Bolera Fox has had to do for the third place man in the championship.
Good one.
Always very smooth.
Yeah. Bourbon's about getting past Bolera Fox.
He is eager. He's very eager, because he does have a great opportunity to try and take the lead here. Safety car is well out of the way, and Bolera Fox.
I think he's gone. Never mind.
No, he hasn't. He's slowed down again. That's perhaps going to cause some issues, and he is finally foot to the floor. And for the third time, the safety car is in, and we are racing once again at the Circuit of the Americas. It's a fantastic restart from Bourbon Boy. It's the closest he's been to the race leader as he goes down the inside into turn 1. Will he get it done? Bolera Fox will try and hold his nerve, and he's got a great exit, and into turn 2 he's back up the inside. Fantastic driving from the pair of them. As we see through the S section, Bolera Fox stays in front.
Yeah, not still much going on further back, I don't think, but I mean, like you said, that's the closest we've seen Bourbon to Bolera Fox. He just had to go for that. But great defending from Bolera Fox, manages to keep the lead. 6 lap older tyres, can I remind you. And yeah, he's not making it look bad.
Look at this in the slipstream. Overtake being deployed once again. Same thing for Bolera Fox. Bourbon Boy's got to try and send it from a long way back if he wants to make this move. But he's not going to. Smartly, I'd say. But surely towards the end of this lap, Bolera Fox will stay in front. He's got to pull off a defensive masterclass here. By the way, FH up to 6th, so as it stands, he will keep the championship lead. But still, with his rival out in front, it's not a perfect scenario. He's going to lose a lot of the gap he's built up from his win last time out. TRT Evan and TRT Seed going at it. PSR Mac was involved in some of that as well, so there has been battling towards the lower ends of the points. Start of lap 19 of 28. Been going for a solid 40 minutes almost in this race. We're going to be pushing perhaps a 50-55 minute mark. Sure in this one.
Yeah, it's been a long one, but hopefully it'll be worth it come the end of it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Lots of penalties.
A lot more time penalties coming in at the back, yeah. Akos, Adams, Evan picking up.
Oh, someone's gone round the Franek.
There's a yellow flag again. Oh, it's Franek. And the 2-time podium sitter is around and plunged to the back of the field.
Bourbon's gone for it.
Oh, he's gone early. And he's got a mega exit off of turn 11. Who saw this coming? Side by side down the back straight. This is for the race lead. Bolera Fox is rooted here to try and defend from the outside. Bourbon Boy up the inside. This is for the race lead. Bolera Fox gets good traction again and is going to go back up the inside like he did at turn 2 a couple of laps ago. But it's a wonderful switchback from Bourbon Boy. But Bolera Fox still up the inside. This time at turn 15. He's got to get his elbows out still. And surely they're not going to go side by side for any longer, are they? Surely that's it. Surely that's Bourbon Boy into the lead. And I have to say as well, look at this. JB13 Immortal trying to get his elbows out on AMS Drive. And he has done. He nudges him off the track. Really aggressive, fair racing from our top 4 here.
Yeah, further back, FRT Akos has spun around. I'm not sure if that was an incident with someone else, But AMS driver sent it on Immortal, and
FRT ACOS is crashed out.
Oh yeah, hopefully that's not another safety car.
I beg it isn't. Like, I will pay Codemasters £5.
Right, we're all clear.
I'm sure they'll take it. We are all clear, and the racing resumes, and I'm glad it resumes, because it has been absolutely fantastic considering the wet weather. Valeria Fox has dropped back a little bit now. Oh no.
Oh no.
No, Franek. No.
Venom now on Immortal.
I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be a safety car, but Venom takes full opportunity of the green flag running and gets past JB13 Immortal, but for how much longer? Because Immortal has got quite a clear slipstream here to try and get back past the AlphaTauri. Will he send it? I think he's just too far back and has lifted off the overtake, I think, just to not take any risks. But Bourbon Boy has opened up a lead of a second. And this train goes all the way back to FH as well, so still anyone of these top 6 could still get on the podium. Fantastic race we're having, although it has been a long one.
Yeah, Bourbon has really, put his foot down now. He's got to the front. 1.3 seconds, well, 1.1 now. Fastest lap of the race. And, yeah, Bolero Fox on that lap was in the 49s. So, on another level at the minute. Maybe them 6 laps are definitely making a difference. But Bolero Fox has just got to hold on to this P2 if he wants to continue his championship charge.
Updated gap, 12 points. FH has a lead over Bolero Fox in this championship. I believe that's correct, because there's a 10-point difference in this race.
Yeah.
I keep questioning myself for everything. Like, why don't I just believe that I'm right for once? AMS driver's getting close, but it's not been the perfect turn 11 for him. This is the run down to turn 12. He's quite a long way back. But if DRS would do perfectly in this fight, but obviously it's raining.
Didn't know that.
Could you not tell? Round turn 15 we go. We've still got to see it 7 times
Venom
more.
penalty.
Yeah, that's going to be big. As it stands, that's going to promote Immortal and FH up 1 position. So assuming that FH is now P5, the championship gap is 14 points. And considering how well Bolero Fox has driven, in all fairness, I think that's actually quite harsh. And obviously, no offence to FH, there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. He's just been making up positions and driving really cleanly. But the way Bolero Fox has driven, to still see that 14-point gap with 2 races, it's close, but it's still a long way back in the context of a Spec Series championship, where anyone can take any amount of points in many given scenarios.
Yeah, Bourbon's absolutely flying at the moment.
He's flying.
He's
well acknowledged.
Yeah, he's made his gap up to 2.7 seconds. So, providing nothing like oh my god. As I say that.
Why?
Why is there a safety car?
No, but why? Is the rain too heavy? That's my only theory. That is my only theory.
Yeah, no one has... There's no incident.
No one's crashed, no one's spun.
It's got to be weather, surely.
It's got to be weather. But I thought...
never mind, we've had a crash under the safety car.
Well, that's obviously not the cause of it, as we know, but... I thought there was a separate little icon in this game, or in previous games, you know, the kind of torrential monsoon, but... This is scripted weather. This is very wet conditions by default because of the restart. So that's very odd if that's weather related, because I don't see how that would happen either.
Oh, Venom pits, speeds into the pit lane.
Oh,
and
he retires.
Oh,
He was still on for good points.
I don't
He
see
was
why
on
he's
for
done
very
that.
good points. Yeah. Maybe just drivers running out of time or something, because...
Well, I think he has got a race after this. I don't know if it's at 8 or 9 though.
Ah.
Same goes for Ruben, and he's retired as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Venom's car has just stopped in the pit lane on my screen.
Into the pits comes Evan and Brood for, obviously, an already used set of tyres, but could help them get back through the field. Only a few laps remaining now.
Can I just say that I've banged all 3 of my predictions in a minute?
What did you say again? I can't quite remember.
I said Baldwin first, Immortal top 5, and Seed top 10. So...
Yeah, fair enough. Ah, 4 safety cars. Fox, who is losing heaps of time, now has the opportunity, with a perfect restart, to take that back away from Boy. How big would that be? But same situation behind. Drive. Could get the drive off the final corner and take Fox, and you know, if one car overtakes him, maybe 2. And then we get to FH, who's sitting in 5th. Could have one more lap at least. I think it would just be one more. That will leave us with a 4-lap shootout to see who takes victory in the US Grand Prix.
Yeah, and luckily we haven't got our front battle spoiled by penalties currently. Yeah, we saw the top 5 clearly seem to have a lot more pace than anyone else. So out of them, they've, like, none of them have penalties. The first penalty comes in P6 with Mac. So yeah, hopefully the front 5 at least can keep it clean. Because I want to see it decided on track. You know, not...
Yeah.
Not by penalties.
There's been 8 different winners in 12 races this season in ABS Tier 1. The top 4 all are yet to win a race.
Has
So
Fox
there's a very high chance that would... No, he hasn't.
Wouldn't
has
FH
really
get
been
on
his-
count back then just from the win?
Yes.
Yeah.
But obviously, at one point it was level
Yeah.
where Fox
Oh
was
yeah, true.
in the lead, so... But still, FH has 2 second places. Fox has 3 thirds as his best result, so... Yeah, again, several scenarios that this could be decided by.
Bourbon would
Who
be
knows?
another new winner.
Oh my
wouldn't
god,
he?
that's a McLaren off the track. Yeah.
Hey, what are you on about?
That was Immortal going onto the grass.
Oh.
I'm very surprised he didn't spin. Imagine him throwing that away. We would not hear the end of it on Twitter.
He'd be retiring from league racing.
For the 800th time, I don't know. Great guy, Immortal, can't lie, but see a lot of that from him. That
Good
just
to see him
shows
back
he
racing
has
though.
the passion. Yeah, absolutely. It's a real credit. He's always been committed over his time. I've watched him race for a long, long time. But this time, in this 4th safety car restart, for the first time, it's going to be Bourbon Boy doing the honours of restarting the race. Will he take a different approach? He's getting the heat into the tyres, and he's foot to the floor. We are racing once again in COTA. Obviously, we've got to wait for the green flag, which will come as he crosses the start-finish line to start lap 25 of 28. 4 laps to go, and AMS Drive actually has a very good safety car restart. Bolero Fox with a bit of a stinker, quite frankly, and will AMS Drive go for it? No, he won't. Not into turn 1 anyway. But championship... Oh, sorry. Third place man in the championship. There we go, got my words out. Currently 2nd as it stands, under a lot of pressure at the moment. He is on older tyres, as is Immortal, to be fair, and he's driving really quite well. So maybe just a bit of pressure on this young man's shoulders.
Yeah, Bourbon already extending the gap to 1.7 seconds. He's just on another level today. I can't see anyone stopping him from winning.
Phenomenal. He's just been brilliant.
Oh, Max left.
Again.
Let me try and get him back.
In the biscuit tin. As I said the other day, which I thought was funny, but everyone disagreed as usual.
Clearly, just had some Bourbons before the race. Oh, Mac has gone offline, so...
Oh. He's just got a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags.
When he's disconnected.
Exactly. My question exactly, but...
I don't know if he's had to go because of how late the race is running, but...
Yeah, that's true, to be fair.
Nitro and Allison, almost side by side for the triple right-hander. But Allison has now got the place.
Nitro does not have any penalties, so as it stands, he will inherit 2 spots from Allison and Seed. V2 Combat might be in a touch of trouble for his racing with... who was it?
Mac.
I can't remember. Mac. And then obviously Seed came along and took them both.
Immortal penalty.
Oh, Immortal. Bolero Fox penalty.
No.
Oh, it's exploded. And that could be really costly because as it stands, Bolero Fox will drop behind FH. And FH will extend his championship lead with 2 rounds to go.
For 26 laps, it's been Bolero Fox catching FH in the championship.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden, it's just flipped on its head, and now FH is... Well, FH won't know. He won't be able to see.
Correct.
But I'm sure he'll have someone telling him.
Sure, he's got a bit of an FRT party or something going on there. I think I said it last week. This league is just FRT and a few others.
Well, and the thing is, there used to be so many more FRT drivers than there is now.
Yeah.
Racing here, like. There's been a sudden increase in ALS drivers lately.
I mean, 2 of them have been banned. Hartick and Fairley are no more for this tier. For the meantime.
Until the end of the season.
AMS Drive doesn't really need to go for it. Because I'm sure he's not committed to catching Bourbon Boy. That looks like an impossible task with the way he's driving. He can just sit in P3 and inherit P2. Immortal will be kicking himself though. That's a couple of positions dropped from that penalty as it stands. Still all could change.
FH is 2.5 seconds behind Bolero Fox.
Ooh, it's going to be close. It's starting to spread out just a little bit. Let's get the penalties up. as we approach 1.5 laps to go. We have very, very almost been racing for an hour. So fair play to these 12 drivers. 11 now, because Mac has clearly had to go. For sticking in this and remaining committed.
Oh, FH having a bit of a moment out of turn 12. But Drive looking like he's about to make a move on Bellerofox, almost pushing him through the middle sector.
Again, he doesn't have to. But he can if he likes. Not stopping him. Hey, just joined and heard my name. Yeah, that's because there's 3 black boxes next to your name on the standings that says ban Partick. I'm not sure what happened. I haven't looked into that or asked anyone. But that's why. But Bourbon Boy, another fastest lap as he starts the final lap of this race. 3.6 seconds out in front. You have to say, his strategy has worked exceptionally well. But you've also got to say, hard luck to Bellerofox, who is starting the 28th and final lap on the same set of tyres as is Immortal, who both picked up penalties at the same time. He's done a mega job nursing it through 4 safety cars. The entire race on the same set of tyres is no easy doing. I know it's the wet weather conditions and these things hardly wear, I'd say, but it's a difficult track. Very, very difficult track. Particularly in the wet. For the final time, Bourbon Boy makes his way into turn 12, and he is in front. It's his race to throw away with a sector to go. He could just cruise through and win with a 4-second margin that he's picked up. That is the worst camera I've ever seen. There was just one big spot of rain on it, and it was just blur. That is horrendous, but one thing that's not been horrendous is his driving. Once again, Bourbon Boy showing league racing. Why, he is indeed a very good talent as he makes his way now into the final corner. Finally, after an hour or so, we have a race winner. Bourbon Boy, with the fastest lap on the final lap, takes the checkered flag and wins. Who's on the podium? FH is on the podium and extends his championship lead by 3 points, taking it up to 25.
It'll be more than 3 points, won't it? But Bellerofox has dropped to 5th as well.
Did he drop to 5th?
Yeah.
More than that, then.
5
I
points.
didn't quite see that. It'll be 5, yeah, so 27. But that finally is that. Hate to be so negative, but that was really long.
It was.
And there is the winner's trophy for Bourbon Boy as he sprays the champagne. And these great rivals, you have to say, in this race, because for a long while it was looking like a train, it was looking like it was anyone's game. But he has prevailed, the McLaren driver, who has substituted in for fellow PSL driver Gorgon. Very own Nathan.
Bourbon for Gorgon.
Bourbon for Gorgon. Yeah, I still can never get my head over that. I suppose we get the 3 in the party. It's only fair, but as you said, Bellerofox did in fact drop to P5, so that is a championship lead of 27 points when it looked like in the best case scenario it could have been level today. So I'm interested to hear from FH if he does join, which he has, about that situation which is ongoing. If the other 2 join, of course they don't have to, but AMS Drive has. Imagine if there was just a rule. If you do not join the party after a race, you will get disqualified.
Should bring that in.
Should be made a rule, in my opinion.
Let's do it.
Yes.
And Bourbon Boy has joined us as well. Perfect. We can have some interviews Firstly, I have to say, you three, do include your audio. I've had too many scenarios this week where people just haven't.
Do you want photo evidence
including,
that I've included my audio? Go on.
no, you'll be alright.
Ah, good. Okay.
One example being the Humperdinck. I was interviewing him after winning the WOR Tier 3 Championship. It says at the end, I forgot to include my audio, see you later. Okay, enough of that. FH.
Hello.
Well done to you. That is a massive result. And yet another podium. Your consistent run continues. You've extended your championship lead to 27 points. And considering the situation that you found yourself in, hovering around P8 and no more, while Bolero Fox was out in front, for you to come home and take P3, extend your margin to over a race win, how does that feel from your perspective?
That is the best example of damage limitation, I think, going. Yeah, Bella was absolute today. He's been absolutely rapid at this track. You know, if he's more than 2 times in front of me in like TT or whatever, because we're really close, he's gonna be absolutely insane, and he was here. So the fact that I managed to get third, it's an absolute miracle. He's trying to get his pen removed, but like, if mine do not get removed to Portugal, if his get removed, that's a pure joke in my opinion. Because mine at Portugal are absolute BS, so he really should not get his removed in my opinion.
Yeah, didn't see that Portugal one personally, but let's look forward then. Imola and Brazil for your season. You know, for your potentially championship winning season to conclude. I'm just gonna throw that championship winning in there. Could be a jinx, who knows? But your thoughts on the 2 venues we head to for the finales?
Well, Imola, I've won a race there, so that's a positive. And Brazil, I have genuinely no clue, honestly. I don't know if I'll be good there or not. The only bit of knowledge I have of that was an FRT inter-team event, and I qualified better, but it was on a banker up, so I don't really know what to really expect at Brazil. But I don't want to say I've won the championship because there's still 2 races left. Literally anything can happen. And if like I could spin it in it's highly likely as well because it looks horrible. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm, as I said last week, mildly confident. Just mildly, but not 100% confident yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Rossi, any questions for FH?
No, I don't have anything to add on to that. But obviously, congrats to you for extending the championship lead. It probably would have felt a bit, you know, well, almost like it was nothing could have gone your way in that race when you saw he was leading ahead and you were in P8, I think it was. So yeah, did you think that at that point he had won pretty much, or did you always think that you could come back to him?
Well, I mean, the only thing that kept me motivated was the fact that he was on really old tyres, so that was giving me some sort of hope that he might get a puncture. Didn't, because of all the safety cars, so that was cool. But I was kind of losing hope at points throughout that race. A lot of times, I thought it was done. I thought if I could just be like losing 5-6 points out of this race, that'd be a result. But to gain on him, that is massive, and I'm just hope and pray that I keep that podium now, that he doesn't get his pens removed. So, yeah, I'm just going to hope that he doesn't.
I think Immortal's trying to get his removed as well, maybe, but I'm not too sure.
I say if they get removed but mine in a Portugal tin, that's just stupid. I've got to lie, because mine in Portugal was so dumb. But
Joseph, I've got to go, by the way, so I'll leave you to do the rest of them.
See you.
Cheers for your time.
Rossi.
All right, see you.
Thanks, Rossi.
Cheers.
See you soon. Yeah, sorry to keep you waiting, Drive. I have to say, it's always great to talk to new reserves. I mean, you have raced before this season, but obviously you've not been up here on the podium. I have to say, very well driven from yourself. I don't really have any specific questions, to be honest, but just how would you describe your strategical approach to that race? Because it certainly paid off pitting under the initial safety car.
Yeah, it was a good race. It was fun to step in. Quali was like on the ropes until the very last lap, and Adams gave me a beautiful slipstream, and it got me P4. But then, like at the rain at the start, I struggled. I was like going backwards, but managed to get in the groove. And I don't really know if pitting was the best option. So at the end, my tires were only on like mid-20s, like 30%.
Oh, wow.
So it probably would have been worth staying out and gaining like one position. But I don't know. It's just so hard to overtake. And Bourbon Boy, he managed to get through everybody and is out front. I would have liked to like be able to challenge him, but I just couldn't get past. And as soon as he got the pen, I was just like, right, I can't be bothered. I'm not going to risk it. I'm just gonna sit here. But yeah, it was a good race. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to add, to be honest. But congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. That's about it, really. Thank you. Yeah, I'm completely lost with what I'm saying, but let's move on swiftly to Bourbon Boy, who also has been kept waiting. Honestly, that final stint from you, that final restart, well, the final couple, I should say, because your lead was interrupted, you would have had a mega gap by the end of that race. Incredible pace. Just how did you have so much confidence today?
I didn't. When I saw it was wet, I was a bit worried. But I knew if I just stuck it at the front, then I would have a decent chance, and then it was much easier to adapt than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I don't really know. Just felt really nice to drive. Don't know why.
Yeah. Well, I've got to say as well, pole and win. I have to say, I have not seen you race much, so to be putting in, these results that you have been recently, must just be, if you weren't confident going into this one, it must just be a massive boost. It must just be so refreshing to be competitive and whatever.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially when you're surprised at your pace. For this last month or so, I've been doing quite well in leagues, so hopefully that keeps going to at least Christmas. GG2 Drive and FH. I think it could have been a bit more interesting if I had more cars to overtake, but it is what it is, isn't it? I'll take a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to you. It was great seeing you
Thank
drive
you.
today, and dominance at its finest there. Brilliantly done. That is where I'm going to wrap this up. I know if anyone's been watching this from start to finish, it's almost been 2 hours. So I salute you. I very much do. I'm back next week, hopefully, for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix here in ABS. But across the rest of the weekend, you can see Tier 2, Tier 3 and Tier 4 in order across Saturday, Sunday and Monday. So stay tuned for that if you want to watch that. Because if this race is anything to go by, anything is possible over the course of this weekend. But until next time, thank you very much, and